He didn't use a gun. He didn't wear a mask. But he shook the most powerful military on Earth. From his bedroom. Close your eyes for a second. Picture this. A regular guy, sitting in a small apartment in North London, wearing headphones, staring at a slow-loading screen from a Windows 98 PC. There's no Hollywood drama, no glowing green code falling down the screen like The Matrix. Just a dimly lit room, filled with cigarette smoke, a mug of coffee gone cold, and the sound of a dial-up internet connection screaming to life. The man at the desk? His name is Gary McKinnon. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a spy. He was just a curious soul, fascinated by computers, obsessed with UFOs, and convinced that governments across the world were hiding the truth from humanity. But what Gary did next would make him one of the most notorious hackers in modern history. And it all started with a single question. What if they really are hiding proof of aliens? A conspiracy so big, he had to hack the government to prove it. Gary wasn't your typical cybercriminal. He wasn't looking to steal money or leak classified war data. Instead, he believed the U.S. government had evidence of free energy technology, reverse-engineered alien spacecraft, and non-terrestrial life forms, and they were keeping it from the public. To most people, that sounds like a sci-fi movie plot. But to Gary, it was a mission, a purpose, a digital treasure hunt. So he took matters into his own hands. He downloaded a few open-source tools, learned how to exploit open remote desktop ports, and started scanning for unprotected machines connected to military networks. And the results shocked even him. No passwords. No firewalls. Just access to the world's most secure systems. This is where the story gets truly insane. Between 2001 and 2002, Gary gained unauthorized access to over 90 computers across the U.S. military network, including systems at NASA, the U.S. Army, the Navy, the Department of Defense, and even the Pentagon. And how did he break in? Not with elite zero-day exploits. Not with millions of dollars in malware. But because many systems had no password at all. He would log in, open directories, browse image folders, read documents, all while sipping tea in a North London apartment. Gary would later say, "It was like walking into a room where everyone had left the door open." And what he claims to have found was chilling. Non-terrestrial officers. And UFO evidence? Gary swears that on one NASA computer, he found a folder named Unfiltered. Inside were images, one that he describes as a huge cigar-shaped craft hovering above Earth. No rivets. No seams. Just a massive, smooth, alien-looking ship. But he didn't stop there. He also found a spreadsheet containing a list titled Non-terrestrial officers, with names, ranks, and ship-to-ship transfer logs. Now pause for a second. This wasn't just spooky. This was either a huge misunderstanding or proof that the U.S. was operating a secret space fleet. Either way, Gary had crossed the line, and the U.S. government knew it. Your security is a joke. A note that set off a digital firestorm. Gary got a little too confident. On one U.S. Army system, he left a message that said, "Your security is crap. I am solo. I will continue to disrupt at the highest levels." That was it. Within days, alarms were raised in Washington. The FBI, NSA, and U.S. Cyber Command launched a global cyber investigation. They traced the intrusions back to a static IP in the UK. It didn't take long to find the man behind the keyboard, the knock on the door, and a decade of chaos. In 2002, British police stormed Gary's apartment. His equipment was seized. His hard drive was cloned. He didn't deny anything. He admitted it all. He told investigators exactly what he was doing, searching for evidence of alien activity. He wasn't even trying to hide it. But the U.S. wasn't interested in why he did it. They wanted him. They filed for extradition under a brand new treaty that made it nearly impossible for UK citizens to fight back. If approved, Gary would be flown to the U.S., tried in a federal court, and could face up to 70 years in a maximum security prison. For simply searching for truth? A nation divided, hacker or hero? As word spread, the British public became enraged. Was Gary a criminal? Or was he a whistleblower who exposed just how vulnerable U.S. military systems were? Mental health experts revealed that Gary had Asperger's syndrome, a condition on the autism spectrum that made him hyper-focused on certain topics, like UFOs and free energy. He also suffered from clinical depression, and doctors warned that extradition could drive him to suicide. For 10 years, Gary battled in court. He was denied jobs, denied peace, lived under constant threat of being sent to a country he'd never even visited to face a justice system that considered him a digital terrorist. And then, the moment no one saw coming, victory from the shadows. In 2012, UK Home Secretary Theresa May made a surprise announcement. Extraditing Mr. McKinnon would violate his human rights. Boom! After a decade of fear, courtrooms, and chaos, Gary was free. He walked away from one of the most high-profile cybercrime cases in history without ever stepping foot in a U.S. courtroom. The aftermath. Lessons from the bedroom hacker. Gary McKinnon didn't wear a hoodie and sunglasses. He didn't run from the police. He didn't sell secrets to the highest bidder. He was just curious. But that curiosity exposed weak cybersecurity across the world's most powerful government, the ethical gray area between hacking and activism, the emotional and psychological toll of long-term legal battles in the digital age, and the strange, uncomfortable truth that sometimes one person can shake the system. Final thoughts: criminal or legend? Some call Gary McKinnon the digital David versus Goliath. Others see him as a reckless criminal who endangered national security. But no matter how you view him, his story will go down in hacking history. It's a reminder that in the world of cybersecurity, one man, one computer, one belief can change everything. Direct Hit want more real-world hacking stories, conspiracies, and cybersecurity legends? Follow and stay tuned, because this world is full of secrets. Some are hidden in vaults. Others are just a password away.